You know, yeah. Always wanted to have superpowers, you know. It's for my people, trying to stay alive and just stay peaceful. So hard to survive, but we're so lethal.
What's up, Z Gang? Welcome back to another Just ZJ YouTube video. I'm your girl ZJ Jackson, but today, as you can see, we have to divert from our normal form of content and experiences together because of the state of our country. And so today, I don't want to come to you as ZJ Jackson, so no glitz and glam, as you can see, no makeup, no glitz and glam, but I want to come to you as Jar Wilson. If you don't live under a rock, you are very aware of what is going on today in our society as it relates to Black people and as it relates to how we are viewed by the society, how we are treated by the society, and how we are protected, or for a better term, lack thereof, by our society. And of course, if you watched the last video, I did say the next video will be a Get Ready With Me, which of course that content will come, but this is more important without a doubt. This is more important. I have to say now, this is trigger warning. This is some real, excuse my French, shit. This is some real shit. This is sensitive content, and if you feel like you can't handle it, I will not be offended. Please click out of the video now. But if you are here to stay, then be prepared to deal with what the reality of these situations are. What do we come here for today? I went to one of the protests that is kicking off here in Gainesville. I went to protest recently, and I recorded the whole thing. And I particularly wanted to share this because, especially with all the other protests going on right now in America, the media, and I'm a part of the media, let me say that, let me state that, make it very clear. If you don't know my credentials, let me give them to you. I went to the University of Florida, and I majored in telecommunications with an outside concentration in theater and a minor in African American studies. So I'm the media. And you know what the media does? It controls our society. Y'all, this might get flagged, to be honest. The media controls our society. It tells you how to think. It is literally your first form of communication every day. The minute you wake up, you pick your phone up. The minute you pick your phone up, even if you just go to a home screen like on your Google, it pops up with little stories and stuff. You may not click them, but subconsciously, I'm training you to think about certain things. So I wanted to be out here because right now in the media, you see all the protests that are going on, and you specifically see all the ones where we out there acting a fool and burning stuff down. And we have every right to act a fool and burn this country down. Excuse me. Please, nobody don't send the FBI over here and target me, because I'm not one of them people. I promise I'm not trying to burn nothing down. But if a society, if a generation of us feels like we need to burn it down because tens of generations of us built this on our backs from like blood, sweat, and tears, I don't have nothing on what is going on here. If we feel a need to burn it down, and burn it down. But that's all you see in the media. And so I wanted to show you guys today the protest that was here in Gainesville, because it was one of the least violent. Again, least violent. There was still violence, but it was one of the least violent and one of the most successful ones. The protest was amazing. We walked from Depot Park all the way to downtown, and there was, when we congregated, there was a speech. It was just very motivational, and I was also able to interview some of the key players who organized the march in Gainesville. So you'll see that. You'll see the march. You'll see the speech, and you'll see the interviews. And of course, please be kind. Please be understanding that this isn't the glitz and glam. This isn't the makeup. As you can see, I'm just very, like, nothing on my face. This isn't glitz and glam. This isn't makeup. This isn't pre and post production and lights, cameras, and action. This is real shit. Really out there in the field fighting. So listen to what the message that's in this march. Listen to it. Take it in, and when we come back, we'll talk about what's the next thing to do. Okay?
Next, we're going to have an amazing gentleman who has been leading y'all through these chants, making y'all feel good, triggering y'all. He's going to say a couple of words. He brings so much inspiration to so many people, and he preaches such a love message, but also don't mess with me because I'm finna fuck shit up. So. Period. All right. Hit it, Ruben.
Oh my gosh, first off, give yourselves a round of applause. Y'all are so beautiful. Oh my God. My name is Ruben, but first I want to extend gratitude because this really ain't about me. I want to thank you all. I want to thank Ariel. I want to thank this team of folks up here. I want to thank the folks in the Facebook group. And I want to thank everybody who I don't even know contributed to this. So give all yourselves a round of applause again. So what I want to do is I want you all to just focus, okay? There's other things going on, but I want you all to focus, and I want you all to think. Take a couple of seconds and think of an ancestor who's important to you. It can be MLK, it can be Rosa Parks, it can be your grandmother, it can be your mother. I want you to spend some time thinking about who that ancestor is. Take about 15 seconds. We can't control everybody, and that's okay. We're just gonna focus on our little community right here. So what we're going to do, y'all are going to become a choir real quick, all right? So what I'm going to do, I don't sing, but I'm going to do a little, I'm going to try something. So you can't hear me? Okay, listen, y'all are going to become a choir. Y'all don't have to sing on key, but y'all got to time it up right, okay? All right. Ancestors watching, I know they're watching. Ancestors watching, I know. Say, ancestors watching, I know they're watching. Ancestors watching, I know. So ancestors watching, I know they're watching. Ancestors watching, I know. Good. So, work with that first activity. By a show of hands, in the last few weeks, if you felt one of the emotions that I'm going to say, I want you to raise your hand very high. If in the past few weeks, you felt one of the emotions I'm going to label, I want you to raise your hand very high. There's no fear. In the past few weeks, raise your hand if you felt shame. In the past few weeks, raise your hand if you felt powerlessness. In the past few weeks, raise your hand if you felt hopeless. In the past few weeks, raise your hand if you felt rage. What I want to do is welcome you all to being human, because if you didn't feel those emotions, you wouldn't be human. Put your mask on. My message today is the time is now to put your mask on. I'm not talking about the mask y'all have on y'all's face right now. Who's had the privilege of riding an airplane? All right, so y'all know the flight attendant gets to the front, and then they do their spiel, and then they talk about if there's an emergency in flight and the cabin loses pressure. They say these masks are going to fall from the ceiling. What do they tell you to do with that mask? Put it on what? Yourself first. Who first? Yourself. Exactly. Because if you don't put that mask on yourself first, you're going to suffocate. And then you're going to need help from somebody else. If you put that mask on yourself first, not only do you save yourself, but you then have the capacity to help other people. Does that make sense?
That makes sense, brother.
That's what I'm talking about. Good. I just want to clarify some things, because there's just certain things that I don't even argue with people about. I love people and I accept their beliefs, but there's certain things I just don't engage with. So I just want to do some affirmations. And if something resonates with you, instead of amen, we're going to say ashe, okay? Ashe is what we say for power in Yoruba, okay? Real quick, I think the time is now for all Black lives to matter. Ashe! I think the time is now for gay Black lives to matter. Ashe! I think the time is now for trans Black lives to matter. Ashe! I think the time is now for Black women's lives to matter. Ashe! I think the time is now for George Floyd's life to matter. Ashe! I think the time is now for Sandra Bland's life to matter. Ashe! I think the time is now for Ahmaud Arbery's life to matter. Ashe! So the time is now to put your mask on, real quick. I don't know what it's like to be a white person. I don't either. But I do have the compassion to know that I also have privilege in my life. Mm-hmm. Right? I know that as a man, my life looks very different than the women in my life. Mm-hmm. And I know at one point I was suffocating because I didn't know what sexism was doing to me and the people around me. And that emotion right there is okay. I appreciate that love. That's love. I love that emotion. Emotion is welcome here. I didn't know I was suffocating from sexism, right? I was taught by sexism, and it's by nobody's fault. We're all born into our identities. We're all born into a world of oppression. I was taught that women are less than me simply because I'm a man. That's what I was taught. I was taught that women, and it's not always, you go to school, you learn it. It's taught in a variety of ways: churches, family, culture, school, sometimes consciously, sometimes unconsciously, often unconsciously. But I was taught that women are objects for me to objectify. That's what I was taught. Mm-hmm. That's what I was taught. And I was suffocating. And my relationships with women were suffocating. I couldn't get emotionally close with women. Right? I couldn't have deep, meaningful relationships with women. I was fearful. I was a bystander when I saw violence occurring with women. I was a bystander. I got privilege. But then also as an oppressed person, I didn't know, y'all, as a black person, racism, white supremacy was also internalized in me. I didn't realize that I was taught that my skin, my blackness was ugly, but that was something I felt, and I didn't even know it. I didn't realize that blackness, I was taught that blackness is stupid, right? I didn't realize that I was taught, but I heard this, that I couldn't get a PhD because I was black. Right? I was taught that. And so what this did, I was suffocating. I missed many years of discovering who I was as a black person, my history, my heritage, my culture. I missed many years because I was suffocated. But what happened is, August 9th, 2014, Michael Brown, an unarmed black boy, was shot and killed by Officer Darren Wilson. And I went to my first protest, and it changed my life. It was the beginning of being able to put my mask on first. I learned that it was okay to take care of me and to begin healing my wounds. Healing from the wounds of racism, sexism, classism, ableism, ism.
Period.
There's all kinds of isms. Heterosexism, ism.
Ism. Period.
But what this means, it was no easy process, and it is no easy process. I had to really dive deep into myself and peel back the layers of programming that I got from this world. I had to do that, and it's tough, right? I did that, though. I had to really confront how I contributed to the suffering of not only myself, but other people around me, many people that I actually cared about, right? And I also had to learn what my emotions were. A lot of us, we're not taught emotions. We don't have a class in school called Emotions 101, but we definitely need it. According to clients, I think we need it, right? Right? I started to learn how to use my emotions as tools. So my anger, I didn't have to use it to hurt people, but I could use it to channel it and create change. I could channel it into something productive. I learned that it's okay to love openly. It's okay to love and give unconditionally, without any conditions, right? That was transformative for me. And basically, I committed my life to making every day of my life an opportunity to transform this world. 3.5. All right. So listen, y'all. I don't know what's ahead, and I don't know if things are going to get better or worse, so I'm not going to promise you that. But what I do know is that each and every single one of you has immense power and influence to influence the future. Let this march not be the start, but let it be the start, but let it be the invitation to not only rediscover that power and influence, but to activate it.
Yes.
Let me say that again. Let today be an invitation for you to discover your power and influence and activate it, okay? So, in conclusion, if you don't know where to begin, or you're confused, or you're lost, I want you to remember Ruben stood up here sweating and told you the time is now to put your mask on. Thank you. I'm gonna do one more chant with you all. I'm gonna do one more chant with you all. One more chant with you all. And I want them to feel it in Tampa. I want them to feel it in Miami. I want y'all to be loud. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. It is our duty to win. We must love and support one another. We must love and support one another. We have nothing to lose but our change. We have nothing to lose but our change. When I say Ashe, you say power. Ashe. Power. Ashe. Power.
I just want you guys to remember, look to the left and right of you. These are your people. Black bodies matter. Listen, white bodies, hey, white bodies, y'all gotta step in. You guys have got to step in, and not because we're weak, but because that's what the system dictates. Step the fuck up. Thank you so much for coming, y'all. Thank you.
You gotta love your neighbor. If you hate him, you still gotta love him. No one needed to be just sitting there watching that. If anything, you were supposed to stop that as your fellow friend. The cop was supposed to understand. Yes, he was not breathing. Stop. He's in handcuffs. If you have a heart in any kind, that video would have spoke to you. That's why I'm here.
Okay.
So do you mind introducing yourself and then telling everybody what this movement meant specifically for you?
I'm Ariel. You see it.
Yeah.
Just unity for everybody. People are feeling so divided and so just emotional right now because they don't know where to turn. And it started off as me just trying to figure out how to help a few people, and it kind of morphed into people wanting to participate. So, I don't know.
And you were the organizer of this?
Yeah, I am.
Just telling everybody your name and to start what your involvement in this was.
Yeah, so my name is Ruben. I work as a therapist at the University of South Florida. I was in Gainesville for a year at the University of Florida, finishing my PhD on internship. And so I know the organizers. I know one of the organizers. We went to the gym together and we met. And then I met the person who actually was the lead organizer through him. So again, it's all community, There's another question you asked.
And like what particularly was your involvement in the march?
So my involvement was, so when I was in grad school, I don't know if people remember in 2015, there were these nationwide protests in higher education where students were starting to challenge administration with campus climate and racism. And so I was in the middle of that at the University of Mizzou. And so I guess I was pulled into it to do a speech and then also do some chants. And that's what I did.
And then my last question is, what would you consider your purpose or calling in life?
Oh, I love that question. Love. L-O-V-E. Every day I wake up, I'm trying to expand my capacity to love myself first. Because the more I love myself, the more I can radiate, kind of like the sun.
What? You remember how to do it?
So that was the video. That was the march. That was the protest. First, I would like to say, let's start a conversation. Let's start a conversation below. There were many parts from the march to the speech to the singing, the chants, and the interviews. I need you to tell me what you got from this video. Really dig into deeply what you got and what was the moment that impacted you the most. That's the first thing that I need. I implore, please, if you got to this point, if you are listening to me right now, please, please, please engage in this conversation. Join the fight. What we need to do is we need to understand our history, and now is the time to fight. I will make sure that I put in the description below resources from how you can get involved, whether it's out on the streets or donating. I will add those resources below. But unfortunately, at the end of it, we did have an incident where a white male drove through the crowd of protesters shooting. No one was harmed, and he was apprehended and charged. But I do consider it a success. As you've seen in the message, it is one of love. It is one of unity. So we need to come together because there really is but only one race, which is the human race. However, that's in a perfect world, and we know we don't live in a perfect world. So as Black people, we need to start building our Black dollar, building our Black institutions up, and we need to come together and work towards this better future, this society, for at least for our children and our grandchildren's sakes. But yes, you've seen the message, one of love, Because, like Ruben said in the video, I don't know what it's like to be a white person. And, like, vice versa. We don't know what it's like to walk in anybody else's shoes. And because of that, we have to carry a level of love and understanding. Because everybody has a struggle. Everybody has pain and hardship. And if you know that, if you know you felt that emotion, then don't cause it to somebody else. Come together, love one another, and it's time to begin. Join the fight how you want to join the fight. If you are a soldier, get on the front lines. If not, support those who are on the front lines. And if they're not on the right side of history, stop arguing. No, we're not arguing no more. I don't care. We're not arguing no more. So stop arguing. And let's, for lack of a better term, put our money where our fucking mouth is. We are demanding our respect, and we are taking it. So if my brothers and sisters feel like they need to go riot, you burn it down. If you feel like you need to pray and kumbaya for us, then do it. But join the fight. Why? Because
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives